Hello, welcome to my live Zoom presentation on the 4 E's of YouTube. My name is Arlen. I am an instructor in the Electrical Trades Training Program at BCIT. I'm enrolled in the PIDP program at VCC in order to develop my skills as a teacher. This is my Creative Commons license. You are free to share the material under the following terms: attribution, non-commercial, and no derivatives. I'd like to acknowledge that the VCC campus, our school, is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, Squamish, Stolo, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. I was able to find some empirical evidence in the form of a few articles supporting YouTube as a learning tool. Here's my list of references, and I will be taking a few quotes from them throughout the presentation. Also have the references available at the end of the presentation as well. In order to make this presentation as accessible as possible, I've enabled closed captioning, as well as I will describe some of the images as well as describing a few of the images that are shown and reading the content from a few of the slides as well. My presentation is for PIDP 3240, Media Enhanced Learning, the 4 E's of YouTube. The 4 E's of YouTube include what is exciting about YouTube? What do users find exciting and keeps them excited, motivated, and engaged? Also, what is educational about YouTube and how does it follow the principles of andragogy? What content, and when it's used as an educational tool, what is engaging about YouTube and turns learners into active participants, as well as what are the ways that YouTube can evaluate learners and give them some feedback or some formative assessment to ensure that they are on the right track of their learning outcomes. This next slide here, showing a group of people jumping in the air excited. What exactly is exciting about YouTube keeps users engaged and motivated while using it? The most exciting feature about YouTube, I think, is an extremely large amount of content that is available. There's such a vast amount of visual and interactive elements, including animations, diagrams, demos, and simulations. The visual aids enhance the understanding of complex subjects. Personally, in my class, we do complex labs. Sometimes students are unable to attend. Lab time is limited and tightly scheduled, so it's an excellent resource for if they're unable to attend a lab, they're able to catch up on the material, and visual demonstrations is the next best thing of being there. There's a diverse global community of both content creators and viewers. There's experts from various fields, different perspectives. Different learners have different approaches to the material, and the very same concepts can be explained from a diverse and wide variety of people in the field. So having that level of diversity and the global community is excellent for the educational outcomes. As well as that, YouTube has personalized recommendations It keeps track of your preferences, viewing history, engagement patterns, and suggests relevant content. Whatever the topic is that you're watching, you'll see the algorithm is recommending content to you that is related to what you're looking at. I've got a reference from one of the articles. YouTube is the biggest video sharing website and has 2 billion active users. Every minute, 500 hours worth of video material is posted to YouTube. It demonstrates that video material is viral and draws in more people than any other content. Absolutely. Instead of just reading the material in a textbook, having the visual that comes with the video media is an excellent complement to the course material. Next slide is showing a classroom. We've got some learning materials in front of a chalkboard ready to start a lesson. So what is educational about YouTube? How does it follow the principles of andragogy? Two principles that are definitely, YouTube definitely follows as an educational tool is the self-concept, self-directed learning. Adults are able to take control of when, where, and how they absorb their learning material, what topics they want to explore. Adult learners also have busy schedules, so having the ability to direct their own learning, it promotes a sense of autonomy and self-direction, which are key aspects. Learners also need to feel a sense of relevance in their learning goals, because you can choose course material that's matched to exactly what you want to be learning. It definitely enhances engagement in the learning process. Learners also want to see value in their learning efforts. The fact that it is free and accessible to anyone with an internet connection, which is pretty much the vast majority of people have an internet connection. It's a cost-effective option. It's not prohibitively expensive, like taking a course. There's tuition costs associated with it. It's free and accessible, which is a cost-effective option to supplement course material. Also, educational channels. There's a wide variety of in-depth content. They focus on specific aspects of certain topics, and different learning styles will have different preferences for different learners. So the exact same content explained a different way can be a valuable resource for students. Another reference from one of my articles: students can rewatch YouTube videos as often as needed. In a classroom or lecture setting, a student may not feel comfortable to ask if the key point could be repeated. On YouTube, there are no limits, and they can use this asynchronous resource at a time that suits their schedule and replay it as many times as needed. This is definitely something I see in the classroom. Some people are hesitant, especially the larger the class. They don't want to put their hand up and say, I don't quite understand. Can you explain that again? I notice with smaller classrooms, people are more comfortable with it, with the ability to replay material as many times as you like. Stop, rewind, slow down, speed it up if you've seen it already. It's an excellent resource and gives learners a sense of self-direction of their learning experience. My next slide here, we've got a group of people. They are engaged in a group activity. They're trying to put the pieces of a puzzle together. What is engaging exactly about YouTube? What makes learners into active participants? There's live interactions. That was a big one. There's live streaming capabilities, which allows instructors to put on a class in real time, allows them to answer questions, allows students to ask questions in real time. And real-time interaction is essential to keeping users engaged. Not only that, it fosters a sense of community. Other students, they're studying the same material at the same time, probably asking the same questions, and it opens up the possibilities of students tutoring one another. Someone knows the answer to a certain subject, they can assist. There's comment sections. As with any comment section, there's a certain degree of moderation involved, making sure that the answers are accurate, making sure content is appropriate and on topic. And so a little degree of moderation is involved if we're using the content section. It's also constantly updated. If I find users are asking a frequently asked question, I can update it with supplementary material or references, and that can be added to the videos. Another reference from one of my articles, research suggests it's often easier to concentrate and learn from video content rather than reading a textbook. While this isn't an excuse to give up on reading, it's worth browsing through the 114 million active YouTube channels available. So once again, it's very engaging. You can be interested in a subject, but maybe not the approach that the instructor is using with so many active YouTube channels available. There's many options available for learners. So very engaging program in that sense. My next slide, we've got a picture of an individual holding up a evaluation. They're getting some formative feedback. So how does YouTube evaluate learners and give them some feedback as to their activities? Quizzes can be embedded directly into the YouTube videos. You also have the option of, hey, press pause, try to answer the question, press play when you think you have it. Ways of asking questions and testing the individuals, see if they're on the right track. Also, within the video, you can embed content, links to related resources. So if it's not all video content, interesting articles or other resources, those can be directly connected to the videos themselves. This encourages active learning, and depending on the learner's learning preferences, if they want to just strictly learn through the video content or if they want to explore the other options, those can be embedded within that. That delivers immediate feedback to the users to see if they're on the right track. Any supplementary materials you'd like to add can be added to the videos that are posted. And comments and feedback, once again, the comment section, you can answer them in real time. They've got a question, they can see if they're on the right track, get some formative assessment, see how they're going with that. Also, YouTube allows you to track engagement metrics, which includes how many views have been made, how many likes, shares, comments. So as an instructor posting material, high engagement suggests that the content is resonating with the audience. So if you post a video, it gets a couple of views, you post a video and it has a lot more comments, you can see which material is resonating with the users. All right. Time for me to give some formative assessment of YouTube. So how did I grade YouTube? On the 4 E's, exciting, absolutely. The vast amount of content, so many diverse ways of getting the information is the most exciting feature. The recommendations, it looks at your viewing preferences, the material you're interested in, and makes relevant suggestions. Definitely A+ on exciting. Educating, I've personally learned so much from YouTube, even subjects that I thought I knew, having it explained a different way from a different content creator, definitely educational, A on that. Engaging, A+. You can spend countless amounts of time on there following your interests and your learning goals, so another A+ on that. The one I wouldn't give as high a mark on would be evaluate in comparison to other media tools. For example, D2L, learning management system. You can actually embed your course content. They can do graded evaluations within the program. A little bit of limitation for YouTube on that. So not as high a mark as other media enhanced learning tools. So gave it a B on evaluation. And lastly, we've got list of references. can check those out if you'd like to read the supporting articles. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation on the 4 E's of YouTube. Hi there, I've got a viewer. How are you doing?
Hi, Arlen. My name is Niall.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Niall. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I can. You hear me okay there?
Yeah, all good. Number one, I apologize a little bit late there. I missed the first minute or so. I was actually trying to view someone else's presentation and it never came on, so I switched gears and I popped on. So my apologies for that.
Oh, hey, no problem. I was hoping to get some turnout, and yes, yeah, thanks for showing up. Is there anything I can answer for you about the presentation?
Sure. Well, what's your field of study?
I am an instructor in the electrical trades training program at BCIT.
Okay.
There was quite a lot of content that was created during the lockdown times. The trades training program, they wanted to keep up and running the entire time, so they made a ton of video content. To me, I just look at that as a resource that's already been created. So I just keep all of that stuff posted. There's more resources better is how I look at it.
Are you using YouTube videos for training currently?
I mostly use it for supplementing course material. It's finite the amount of course material I can cover. So if I want them to do some supplementary learning, or if students are curious of certain topics, we don't really have the time in class to go over an hour of video, but they can definitely watch it on their free time. And then they can skip ahead to the parts they like as well, which is great.
Sure. And are you giving students direction on videos or material that you want them to view?
Absolutely. If I see something that I find is really concise and really to the point, there's a couple of sites that are great. Engineering Mindset is great for electrical content. There's also, yes, the content that was created by other instructors during the pandemic. And it's one of those things, if an instructor creates something, it just kind of goes into the instructor community. They're able to exchange that with one another. It's a valuable resource. There's no sense in remaking a wheel every time you want to say the same concept. If someone nailed it, it's good to share that. We don't all need to make our own wheels. Yeah.
No. And so so I have one more question and I'll let you go.
Sure.
How do you deal with the student that says, well, I saw this on YouTube and you're not doing it properly? YouTube says you're supposed to do it this way, but you're teaching a different way. Because there's so many resources that it comes up so often that, well, I saw this video and this is how you do it. I'm in cooking, I'm in trades, I'm a chef, and cooking, everyone has a cooking video. So, well, how do you deal with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a tough one because that is a challenge that I find with some students as well. A lot of the courses presented in English. There's lots of English learners, so that's a challenge. Not only that, some of the terminologies, some terms are lazily conflated together. It's almost I wouldn't quite say a dialect in some trades, but what's referred to in one way is referred to in another way. The concepts are the same, but yeah, if I see something with conflicting information, I try and steer them towards the way that we're teaching it, because yeah, there's so many different approaches to it. But yeah, there is definitely an element of fact checking of well, is there a bunch of videos agreeing on the same thing, or is it just sort of a one-off? And you can sort of see to some degree by the engagement whether the users are fact checking it as well to see how it's going. Yeah, so it's one of those things that needs a bit of moderation, and whether it matches our level of course delivery as well, because it's a vast subject. We've got depth and breadth. We can only go so deep in the amount of time. So
All good.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. And yeah, oh hey, thanks very much. Yes, it's a little new to the Zoom presentation, so I'm doing my best. And yeah, I'll get the video posted as soon as possible. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just started, so I'm just starting my journey on this.
Oh, okay. This
3240. So
All right, yes, yes,
Awesome.
we got two presentations. The first one is, yes, bit of a learning curve. Second one is a lot smoother. Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Great job. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for joining me. And yeah, we'll get the video posted. We'll get us up there soon enough.
Awesome. Cheers.
All right. Thanks
Okay.
for joining me. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.